Yo, yo, it's Solitaire. Let's do it. React to Alec Baldwin's interview. Let's pick it apart. I don't know. Because I think he's full of shit. What do you think? I haven't even watched it yet, and I think that. Let's see if you can change my mind. Can you change my mind, sir? All right. Allegedly.
You haven't said much in public since that tragic accident. Why speak out now?
Well, I think that there's a criminal investigation. That could be a while. There's all kinds of civil litigation, and
Nice.
I felt there were a
All
number
that
of
litigation.
misconceptions. Most of it from sources I really wouldn't concern myself about, but a couple that I did concern myself about, where there were these authoritative statements about this is what happened. The sheriff's department hasn't even released a report to the DA yet. The reason I wanted to sit down with you is because I really feel like I can't wait.
You can't wait?
The process to end in February, March. I mean, I'm not asking them to speed it up for my benefit. That's ridiculous. But I am saying that they're going to do what they need to do, and I wanted to come to talk to you to say that I would go to any lengths to undo what happened. I would go to any lengths to undo what happened.
I think the big question, and the one
You
you must have
can't.
asked
You're a
yourself
grown
is,
man. You know you can't undo it. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, there's two things I want to say about that. One is that when I talk about this, my concern is that I don't sound like I'm the victim. Because there is a victim. There's a woman who died, and my friend got shot. He's my friend. And she was a new friend. I met her and we worked together on some of the mapping out of what we're going to do on the film, which, you know, in the movie terms, if you go make a movie with Scorsese, you and the DP don't sit down and they solicit your ideas of how to make the film. You know what I mean? In the case of Helena, we sat down collaboratively.
Boring.
A lot about what we wanted
Get
to
to
do
the part where you're
in
holding the
that
gun,
precious amount of time
jackass.
we had. But I want to make sure that I don't come across like I'm the victim, because we have two victims here. And the second thing is that all of what happened on that
He wants
day
to make
leading
sure
up to
he
this
doesn't
event
come off the victim.
was precipitated on
Why the
one
fuck
idea,
are you doing this?
and that
That's
is that
why?
Helena and I had something
So,
profound in common.
People don't think you're the fucking victim?
That is, we both assumed the gun was empty. Other than those
You assumed.
dummy rounds.
I want to get into more detail.
Why even have this video?
What was it that drew you to this project in the first place, to Rust?
What?
I'd worked on a project
Let's
with
hold
Joel
up,
before.
Stephanopoulos.
Right, he did this movie.
He just
Crown
said he
Vic,
assumed
that
the
I
fucking
produced.
gun
Joel
was...
and I stayed in touch. We're friends, and I loved Rust. He said, I want to...
Bro, come on.
In a minute, but let's take a step back.
Other than those, you know, in common. And that is, we both assumed the gun was empty. Other than those profound in common. And that is, we both assumed the gun was empty. And I had something profound in common. One idea, and that is that Helena and I had something profound.
Where did you look right there? Look at you.
And that is that Helena and I had something profound in common. And that is, we both assumed the gun was empty. Other than those, you know,
Wow, what a
dummy
dick.
rounds.
I want to get into more detail on the day in a minute, but let's take a step back. What was
Dummy
it that drew
rounds.
you to this project in the first place, to Rust?
What the fuck is a dummy
I'd
round?
worked on a project with Joel before.
Joel Souza, the director.
Right, he did this movie Crown Vic that I produced, and Joel and I stayed in touch. We're friends, and I loved Rust. He said, I want to send you this. And I read it, and I said, I love it. I love it.
Oh, cool. So really this is about his fucking... now we know what this is about. This is for him to get his fucking money back. Go watch the movie. It's a commercial.
Very,
We just heard the most imperfect part.
Because every independent
We just
film
heard the most
has
important
many
part.
false starts. You know what I mean? And when it
He
finally
assumed the
goes,
gun
you
was
finally you feel like a
unloaded.
plane, and when you finally get some lift under your wings, it's very, very gratifying. I am a purely
You never assume.
producer.
That's 101.
My
Shouldn't be
authorities
holding
as
a
producer
gun.
are
If
casting
you're
the script, which
of
are
the
actually
mindset
married
you're going to
the
assume,
role
it's
of being a lead
unloaded.
actor in a film.
Look
You're
at
not
this
the kind of
liberal
producer who's looking for one item
gun
of each
anti-gun advocate
There are
here,
basically
starring in a gun
two
movie.
types of producers who are
I hate the
really in charge of
hypocrisy of this
production.
world
People
and
that raise the
Hollywood and
money
all the people that
and
make
people
all
who
this
spend the money.
shit.
My consultations
Fuck
were
you,
approved
Alec
completely
Baldwin,
by
and your
casting and not the
assumptions.
script. I
I hope they
hire
throw the
anybody
book
in
at
the
you.
crew.
I don't even really need to watch much more in this.
But
Let's just
he
laugh
will
at you.
Apprise me of what he's doing.
Bunch
And he'll
of
say to me,
shit.
I got Helena Hutchins to be the DP. I said, how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
I knew
okay.
nothing about her until Joel said to me, I got her. She
Many in the industry.
People looking around, like walking by.
The Ukrainian-born cinematographer quickly gelled with Baldwin.
The people who watched The Daily said that her work was beautiful. She was someone who was loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired.
Nah, bro, you fucking actors. Man,
Admired. Sorry.
oh, don't be sorry. You should be sorry. Don't apologize for apologizing.
But
Just
admired by everybody.
be fucking sorry for your whole life, Alec Baldwin. Be a sorry sack
Russ, 21
of
Day
apologetic
production began
shit.
filming on October 6th at the Bonanza Creek Ranch, just outside Santa Fe, New Mexico. The ranch has long been a favorite location for filming westerns.
Blah, blah, blah. He loves the desert.
That she was going to get that day's work done and get the shots that she wanted. She was very focused.
She had a vision for the
She
film?
was very focused. We had a discussion. She had that intensity. Every day you went to work, she would say, good morning, how are you? How was your evening? Boom. It was small talk, go. We weren't going to hang out and chit-chat or whatever. She knew that the clock was the enemy, and we have to move forward.
Once on set, Baldwin posts this video.
I want to hear about the crew drama. What about all the animosity in crew drama?
Here, shooting the film. We start tomorrow.
Is he going to mention any of that?
And no, I'm not playing Santa Claus. On the 12th, I had a safety demonstration with Hannah Reed, the armorer.
24-year-old Hannah Gutierrez Reed, seen here in photos by thedailymail.com, was hired as the film's
I've known a few armorers in
armorer
my
on
lifetime.
set. The daughter of a famous Hollywood armorer, Russ was only her second film in this role.
I'm just going to stop
She
right
spoke to
there.
the Voices of the West
Oh,
podcast
yeah.
about working as lead
She's
armorer
got trigger
for
control,
her
bro.
first
What?
film
He
before
knows
Russ.
what's up.
I was really nervous about it at first, and I almost didn't take the job because I wasn't sure if I was ready, but doing it, it went really smoothly.
We spent an hour and a half shooting.
Nice.
This. Her giving me all her safety instructions.
Did you think she was up to the job?
I assumed because she was there and she was hired, she was up for the job.
And nothing she did raised any red flags with you?
No.
Okay, this training course you do, what did she tell you?
She said things like, remember, this is a blank round, so you have to create the discharge yourself because there's no projectile. So if you shot the gun, you go bang. When we roll the camera, you got to go bang and have the gun snap back. You have to create that. She would give you little tips about firing, and she'd say to you, when we're done, point the gun down. When we're done, you give the gun to me or to Halls, only those two people.
Dave Halls was Rust's assistant director, also known
I got to
as
see what
his
those
first
takes
debut.
look like.
Seen here in this IMDb photo. He was responsible for keeping the production on schedule.
Sometimes we would be on a set that was a very, very cramped set, and they wanted people in that room on an as-needed basis. If I'm holding the gun...
Bring back flogging.
I then hand the gun to Halls.
We should just be able to flog everybody involved. Obviously, we don't want to lock everyone up for the rest of their lives, maybe. We're not sure about that, but immediate floggings for all. We'll carry on with the death investigation and all that, but
Whatever, the preponderance of the time.
let's make floggings a thing again.
If
Huh?
Hannah was away from the set, I would hand Halls the gun.
Hannah Gutierrez Reed had a dual role on set, armorer, and she was also the assistant prop master for the film. One of the things her attorney has said is that she was hired for 2 positions on the film and therefore was stretched in an inappropriate way. Did she raise any prop master for the film? One of the things her attorney, armorer, and she was also the assistant prop master for the film. One of the things her attorney has said is that she was hired for 2 positions on the film and therefore was stretched.
One of those is significantly more important than the other,
No, I
especially
assume
considering
that
life and
anyone
limb, right?
Who's shooting a
I mean, unless there's a lot of table
lower-budget
saws and
film,
chainsaws and
stretched,
electricity
myself
and
included.
shit involved.
And
Flamethrowers. I don't know what kind of
complaints
props.
from her or the prop
This
department.
fucking wild, wild
I'm not
west
sitting
shit.
there when I'm getting dressed and ready to go to a
Fuck
scene
you,
saying,
Alec Baldwin.
Oh my God, the prop woman seemed very
Where's another?
arrogant today.
Where's Stephen Baldwin? Give us another Baldwin.
From any of the people on the film. The first time
You know,
I
there's an alternate universe
there was
where,
any
like,
problem
Stephen
with
Baldwin
anybody,
is, like,
in the
more
crew was
successful.
When Luber said, well, we have some issues here.
Lane Looper, the first camera assistant, would email production managers a resignation letter later that night, citing safety concerns. Quote, during the filming of gunfights on this job, things are often played very fast and loose. So far, there have been 2 accidental weapons discharges. He also wrote about concerns about reasonable rest and housing for local crew with long commutes to the set.
When he quit, now, the day before that happened, we wrapped. And he came up to me and he said, thank you for the position you've taken on behalf of IATSE and the union on social media. I said, my pleasure.
This photo, posted by Helena, showed the cast and crew in solidarity with IATSE, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which had been on the verge of a strike. And Alec posted this on Instagram.
And I want to say to the people in IATSE, do what you need to do. You want to go on strike? Go on strike. Because I'll tell you something about the executives. They don't give a about you. He said, because we have some issues here. I said,
Yeah,
such
that's
as?
probably
And
true.
he said, my men need a
Executives
better
usually
hotel.
don't give a fuck
There was no
about
mention of
anything other
safety
than the
issues.
bottom
He
line.
didn't say anything about the accidental
He didn't-
discharges on set.
He didn't say anything about anything other. He goes, my men need better hotel rooms. I said, well, we're leaving, we're wrapping. Will you be here tomorrow? He said, yes. Because what I was about to do, which I've done on any number of films and TV projects, was
What
to
he
give
was
more
about
of
to
my
do
salary back to the
would
production.
change the
to
course of
pay
his
for
life
X.
forever.
And I was about to say to him, let me know what it would be to B&B you guys in a house that's closer to the, how we can address your problem. I will be happy to contribute to that. The next
Shut up.
day they were gone.
So your safety was compromised.
No.
News, Mr. Looper's allegations around budget and safety are patently false, which is not surprising, considering his job was to be a camera operator, and he had absolutely nothing to do with or knowledge of safety protocols or budgets. Safety is always the #1 priority on our films.
When people say
And it
costs,
shows.
I don't say this with any judgment or any cynicism. Spielberg wants to save money. Tom Cruise wants to save money. Everybody who makes movies has a responsibility not to be reckless and careless with the money.
Fuck you, Alec Baldwin.
And I'm making movies.
And security.
Any safety.
Thursday, October 21st.
Shut
Baldwin
up.
posts a photo of himself in costume on Instagram. Back to in person at the office. Blimey, it's exhausting. That morning, Looper and 6 other crew members walked off the set.
Shut up.
Having a positive experience. People who
Get to the
emotional
part where
pictures,
you're
set
responsible
is,
for pulling the
it's
trigger.
originals. All these people are hardworking, and they're so processes in the world, movie making. I don't make that many movies anymore. All these movies I made, I stayed home. I didn't want to go. If I wanted this movie, that was a big deal. So help me God. I love making movies again. You know. And they called me and said they got Tony Hopkins to me. Any chance?
He loves himself. Fuck Alec
When they
Baldwin.
cast me- You know, people, they have their dreams they want to work with. I really thought we were onto something. Myself. Did she faint?
Here, thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos,
Well. Part 2 coming up, huh? Son of a...
Up would be the operative word there, pal.
I guess I'll let their ad show. I don't know. They're probably going to claim this shit anyways, right?
Geico Motorcycle.
Geico Motorcycles. I don't personally have Geico, but yo. Yo, it's Geico! Bonanza Creek
it was the
Ranch.
12th day of their 21-day shoot.
That day, I did exactly what I've done every day on that movie.
Baldwin
Not
was
drugs.
preparing for his next scene, a shootout inside this wooden church. Set the scene right before that happened. You're sitting in a pew.
Who have got me, cornered, and they think I'm shot pretty bad, and I'm kind of wilting, and they have a gun, and there's sound outside, distracts them, and I would then draw the gun, cross-draw out of my holster, pull the gun up like that, and start to cock the pistol, cut. I'm handed a gun, and someone declares, they said, this is a cold gun.
Dave Halls.
The first AD. In my years on the sets of film, hot gun meant that there was a charge in there, and cold gun meant there was nothing in there. When he's saying this is a cold gun, what he's saying to everybody on the set is, you can relax. The gun is empty.
That's what cold gun means.
Well, cold gun means there's no charge in there. There could be dummy
Yeah,
bullets.
but what about
Dummy round looks
protocols?
like a real
Like,
bullet, but it's completely inert.
you have rules,
It
right?
contains no
Regulations for what's
explosive
supposed to happen.
charge. And you were rehearsing that scene.
You understand
In the
gun
actual
safety,
rehearsal,
right?
there's some
The
disagreement
user.
about that, whether it was a
It ends
formal
with the
rehearsal.
user. Gun safety 101.
There's a
It's not a
marker
prop,
rehearsal where
Alec.
I'm gonna
If it
show
can fire a
her.
live
She's
round.
standing next to the camera. She's like this. You're me.
So if somebody
She's got
hands
a
you
monitor
a
here. The camera is
gun,
here filming that.
you open it
She
up,
takes a
you
monitor
check it
that
out.
that is his
That's the
monitor.
user's
And turns it
responsibility.
toward her. It swivels, and she says to me, hold the gun lower. Go to your right. Okay, right there. All right, do that. Now show it a little bit lower. And she's getting me to position the gun. Everything is in her direction. She's guiding me through how she wants me to hold the gun for this angle. And I draw the gun out, and I find a mark. I draw the gun out, I find a cut. And what's really urgent is the gun wasn't meant to be fired in that angle.
So if you're shooting directly into the camera lens, you're not aiming.
I'm not
at her.
shooting into the camera lens. I'm shooting just off.
Just off.
Right, in her direction. I'm holding the gun where she told me to hold
In
it.
her direction,
which
where she
ended up
told you
being
to hold
aimed
it.
right in below her armpit. It was what I was told. I don't know. This was a completely incidental shot, an angle that may not have ended up in the film at all. But we kept doing this, and so then I said to her, "Now in this scene, I'm going to cock the gun."
Aren't you a producer
I
or
said,
some
"Do
shit?
you want to see that?" And she said, "Yes." So I take the gun and I start to cock the gun. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I said, "Do you see that?" She goes, "Well, just cheat it down and tilt it down a little bit like that." And I cock the gun. I go, "Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that?" And she says, and then I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off.
Yeah.
I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Because that's
That was the moment the gun went off.
that's
That was
that's
the
how
moment
it
the gun went off.
works.
It
It
wasn't in the
strikes it.
script for the trigger to be pulled.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
Hey, stupid! You ever seen the stupid Wild West movies where the guy's got the revolver and he's back
That was the
there and he
training I
goes
had. You don't point a gun.
bow,
at someone if you pull the
bow,
trigger.
bow,
On day
bow
one,
with the hammer?
My instruction in
He's
this
holding the
business
trigger
was
back and
never
just
take the
letting
gun
the
and go click,
action
click, click,
go
click, click,
through.
because
The
even
hammer
though it's
slams down on the
incremental,
bullet.
You damage the firing pin on the gun if you do that. Don't do that.
And Hall's attorney told ABC News that he was watching and agrees that Alec did not pull the trigger and that his finger was outside the trigger guard. So you have this Colt 45 you just pulled
The hammer as far back as I go without cocking the actual
and you're
gun.
holding onto the hammer.
I'm holding that. I'm just showing. I go, how about that? Does that work? Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? She goes, yeah, that's good. I let go of the hammer. Bang, the gun goes off.
Why?
Everyone is horrified. They're shocked.
Yeah.
It's loud. They don't have their earplugs in. No one was. The gun was supposed to be empty. I was told I was handed an empty gun. If there were cosmetic rounds, nothing with a charge at all.
I've been told
Flash
that
round,
a
nothing.
few times in my
She goes
life.
down. I thought to myself, did she faint? The notion that there was a live round in that gun did not dawn on me till probably 45 minutes to an hour later.
45 minutes.
You're a liar.
She's laying there, and I go, did
You're a
she
fucking
have
liar.
wadding? Was there a blank?
You're
Sometimes those blank rounds have a wadding inside that packs. It's like cotton, like a cloth.
Yeah, within 25, 30 feet, bro.
Sometimes wadding comes out and can hit people, and it can feel like a little bit of a poke.
45 minutes.
No one could understand. Did she have?
All you gotta do is check the fucking shell.
Because remember,
You're
the
firing a
idea of
revolver,
something
right?
with
It should be
a live
right there in
bullet
the
gun
cylinder.
was not even in
It's
reality.
it's you can
I
tell.
went up to her and then we were
You
immediately
fucking
told her out
tell.
of the building. We were
You
forced to
liar.
go.
How many
The
movies
medics
you been
came
in? How many
I mean, I
guns
stood
you
over
shot
her
in
for
movies?
60
How many
seconds.
real life guns you
And she
shot?
just lay there kind of in shock.
Was she conscious?
Check this man's phone. Run
My recollection
everything.
is yes.
Liar.
911, what's
Liar.
the location of your emergency?
We need a
Alec
we need an
Baldwin,
ambulance out at
the
the Nazareth
murderer.
Ranch right now. We've got 2 people shot on a movie set accidentally.
I'll connect you with medical dispatcher. Don't hang up.
And then he's on
Director
fucking
Joel Souza
TV.
is
Dude,
also
how
wounded.
fucking
His shoulder hit
sociopathic
by the
is this
same
guy?
bullet that traveled through Helena.
When she went
Oh
down,
my
he went down and he was
god.
screaming.
Clown
really
World
loud.
Extreme.
What is he screaming? What happened?
So was it loaded with a real bullet or one?
I cannot tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
We have
heard
2
this.
injuries from a movie.
Baldwin. Agent.
Church set and put the crime tape around it, the yellow tape, and forced us all to the perimeters of the parking area where we sat.
In the aftermath, there was chaos and confusion.
Until I was in the police station. Hours later, I mean, it was like seeing aliens. It was utter disbelief over the idea. It was unacceptable, the idea that it was a live round. And finally, one of the police officers at the conclusion of my interview.
It'd be real easy if you just check it
she takes her
beforehand.
phone, she slides it across to me. She says, "That's what came out of Joel's shoulder. A .45 caliber slug. It was a real bullet."
Had you known that Joel had been hit?
No one.
This
had
guy's such a
any
fucking
idea
liar,
until
dude.
That police officer, that sheriff's officer,
You
said
couldn't
to me,
tell you
"This
shot
is
a
the slug,
45 slug?
slug they took out of
An
Joel's
old Colt?
arm." And then the
Versus what, a blank?
insanity.
You couldn't tell
inducing agony
when you shot
of
that?
thinking that
This
someone
man's a
put live
liar.
bullet in the gun.
Who did it, Alec? You do it or what? What a weirdo.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube.
That's disgusting, dude. Alec Baldwin. Oh. Yeah, I got my mind made up. Fuck Alec Baldwin. Anyways, later.